Welcome to the Harlot and Witch podcast. This is a special podcast because it is Black History Month. Welcome one as we come one to another in this safe space where we share both facts, opinions, and other things. So if you don't like it, you don't like it. But
You're stupid.
we hope you take this moment to just step away from the stresses of life just to join us
Mhm.
in this podcast. And as I said before, our topic for today is Black History Month. So I'm going to pose the question to you, Harlot. What does Black History Month mean to you, and how do you celebrate?
I mean, people like you. No, so of course we know Black History Month starts February 1st to March 1st, and it has a huge ordeal in the African American community and overall for people of color. So it started, of course, with Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln with the Emancipation Proclamation, and of course, freeing of the slaves. So we celebrate that because of Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X. The list goes on and on.
All the civil rights leaders, yes.
Mhm. Rosa Parks. But to me, it's a month of celebration. It's a month of rejoicing. It's a month of learning our history. Even though they're trying to cut it out of schools, we still have to be able to teach our kids, our future kids, but our kids
Mhm.
and their friends, they'll learn about it and the world because it shouldn't be erased from history. It's something that's very historical, very monumental, and very telling of what they had to go through back in the days in order to have what we have now, which is a lot of freedom. And it's just a time where us as the future generations continue to move in that of, hey, we're not standing for this, whether it's for people of color, white people, Asians, like regardless, we're fighting for our freedom. We're fighting for the economy to be better than what it is now, Trumpy. And it's just a thing where we are but it's where we're coming together as a group of people, no
Mhm.
matter who it is, and we're fighting together in order to get something accomplished, some goal done. And that's what it means to me, amen.
Amen. And how you
Put God first,
celebrate?
amen.
Oh,
To
hey,
celebrate,
oh, I got quiet.
you watch movies. Back in the days, I used to watch the Martin Luther King civil rights movements in
Okay.
school.
Mm.
Nowadays, I treat myself during this month. I do a little
Oh,
extra shopping. No, I tell myself,
oh, you're
this is,
saying shop at Black-owned businesses. You support
man,
Black-owned
I go right to
businesses.
Painted Boutique
Okay.
and shout out to them and shop right where the people of color own their shops.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a little bit more expensive, like this hair,
Mm-hmm.
but it's worth it for the month.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to you guys.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is so bad. Okay. Oh my gosh.
You celebrate
See,
Black History Month, and what traditions do you have for this month, and what does it mean to you?
I think that this month, what it means to me is that it's a good time to reflect on what we've been through. I think it's very easy to every single day you're just so focused on what's going on in my life that we forget what really happened. And I think people need to understand that talk to older people. There are people
Mhm,
still live alive in their 80s and in their 90s that lived through segregation.
mhm,
Talk to them. Get an understanding of what it was really like in the deep South and how it was to live and operate in
mhm,
that even though slavery was over, y'all still had segregation. Y'all still had Jim Crow. Y'all still had a whole bunch
mhm.
of other things that limited people. They even talk about now in certain states trying to roll back and bring back Jim Crow. So it's like, I think it's
Why we're
very
going
easy for
backwards?
people to diminish what Black History Month really is about. And it's really
Mhm,
about us remembering, hey, we entered this country against our will, a
mhm.
large majority of us. And so because of that, there's a lot of things and opportunities and hurdles that we didn't get, and we had to hop over hurdles and hurdles and hurdles and hurdles just to try to become something. And I think when you go back and see, I think it's a very triumphant story because you see, in spite of all of the things we had to go through, just how intelligent, how achieving, how great we've been able to become and what we've been able to do and what we've been able to
Mhm.
accomplish. I think when it comes to how I celebrate at church, they do a thing where people come every Sunday wearing African attire. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. It's either a daishiki or like what's it called? It's something to that degree. That's an
One of
African
them.
attire, and it has the whole hat and the clothing garments. Like a lot of people will remember that when Black Panther first came out, people were
Mhm,
all coming to the movie theaters in their whole African attire, and if they didn't have one, they went to the store and then got some African
mhm.
attire. And even that, I think that movie was so beautiful for Black history because in the world of comic books, it being displayed to the masses, there
Right.
hasn't been that representation for us. So I feel like that's one thing. I think another thing when it comes to how I celebrate Black History Month, I think I could do a better job at really just doing more education, and learning a little bit more about like all the different things that Black people have contributed. Because when you really look at it, there's no corner that we haven't touched really, that
Hmm.
we've been monumental in the growth and the development of whatever it is, from engineering to mathematics, the whole STEM field, like
Sports.
everything.
Hmm.
We've been just so monumental in things going up higher levels and getting greater and getting stronger. So I really hope it motivates people, Black people, to understand that we can get anything done.
Hmm.
We really can. No matter who comes against us, you can get anything done. And you don't have to subscribe to statistics and stereotypes that are placed on you. You can literally do anything you set your mind to.
You celebrate Black History Month.
I celebrate in participating in church where we wear the African attire. I need to update it because my African attire is too small now, and I need to go get some that fit. And I eat some dishes. Ah,
What
thank
kind
you.
of dishes?
I look up recipes and I think about attempting them because some of them seem kind of difficult. So we just leave them on there. But I think a lot of the way that I celebrate more so just has to do with engaging in one, like I do supporting Black businesses. For my other channel, I think the last couple of days in this week, I'm gonna highlight some products that are sold by Black-owned companies, and I think that's one of the biggest ways people can celebrate the month is really pouring back into Black businesses because at the end of the day, I think that's a big thing that is hurting Black people is like having other people really support them and really help them be like, hey, let's put our money into supporting your business, your clothing business, your whatever you're doing, just really pouring into it. And it can be a little bit more expensive, but any company
Hmm.
that is when you first start the company is going to be a little bit more expensive because it's costing you more to initially start the product. Like Walmart wasn't built in a day, Publix wasn't built in a day. These
Right.
companies took a while to build. Amazon wasn't built in a day, and it took them time to build. And so, towards the beginning of any of these companies, they're going to be expensive. I think people just need to support these Black companies so they get to the point where they can rival some of the other ones and they can charge a price that's more competitive.
Hmm. For sure. Because look at Meow, the hair care product.
Hmm.
I mean, they're doing it right now, but um,
And
before.
and I think another thing that people have to do, and I know people are going to do what's best for them and their wallets when it comes to companies, but a lot of Black companies that will get big will sell out and they'll sell their companies to other people that are not of color just to get the cash grab. But it's kind of like I feel like that's the type of thing where like it's very hard for Black companies to really, really, really go there
Right.
because the second they kind of like get to that point, they just accept a big cash grab, and so now your other companies are profiting off of the Black community that it was initially started by Black people, but now somebody else has it. So I have some
Very
companies
true.
that come to mind, but I ain't gonna say it because it's Black History Month and we still gotta be nice. But it's like I think that's a big thing. It's like you have to continue to value that as people. We have to value our businesses and our corporations and our ideas and don't continue to just sell them all off.
Very true. Very true. But yeah, it could be that, and some reasons we may not know as to why they sell. May get threats, may be other reasons. But it's definitely a time to celebrate, a time to look back and reflect
Hmm.
on what they've been through as a
Hmm.
community
Hmm.
back in those days.
Hmm.
And for us to realize like we are very powerful individuals, very powerful beings. And as we come together as communities, hopefully we come together.
I think that it was the day that we really do that in more professional settings, being in these spaces and being united and really having each other's back and advocating for one another is when we will really be able to come up because somebody has to enter those rooms
Well,
because it does no good. I'm reminded of, I think Halle Berry won lead actress and she's been the only Black female to win lead actress for an Oscar. And so she said during her acceptance speech that like on that day, the glass ceiling had been broken and the door was open for others to follow at, but it still hasn't happened. There's been no other Black female to win that since she did. So I think that and that has nothing to do with her fault, but in that same setting, I think that sometimes once we break a glass ceiling, we have to like push ourselves to really
keep
like try
going.
to try to create spaces to like have other people with us in there and don't just be like, okay, I've made it. That's all. Like,
Right.
let me help some other people or try to assist, throw some tokens out
Mm-hmm.
there to really help other people go up. So I think that's the biggest thing. And my last statement I have to say is Happy Black History Month, y'all.
Black History Month, even though we're coming up to the end, it's
Yeah.
ending this week. But we got this video out there
Hmm.
just to celebrate the people, the community,
The community.
his people, our people.
Oh,
God was good.
I'm
But
about to edit that out.
no, but we're celebrating this Black History Month and making sure that this is a month that we remember, even though it's the shortest month of the year.
Hmm.
And hmm,
Mm.
hmm, we're gonna leave it at that. Well, thank you for listening to our podcast, joining in. If you have any feedback, make sure to comment down below, subscribe, like. If you have anything you want to add, comment right down below. And thanks for watching our podcast. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Enjoy the rest of your night. And we're not going back to plantations, no matter how bad y'all want us to. That's it.